What's good? This is Trey coming to you with this quick video. This is 3 powerful ways to trigger sexual tension with a woman. Alright, so the first thing you can do is role play. And role play is basically, you take on a character that obviously is not really what you are, and you play it as if you really are it. So for example, if a girl asks you, what do? You could say, I'm homeless. I'm homeless. Right now I'm actually living in the woods. I actually built a little like dog house type thing, and I live in there. And the reason I'm talking to you is because I'm looking for a sugar mama, and I'm looking for a sugar mama that can basically give me at least 10,000 per month allowance, so I can live a better lifestyle. Been homeless for a little while now, and it's kind of getting boring. So that's why I'm talking to you right now. Okay, and then she's probably gonna laugh and look at you, roll her eyes or some shit. That's a typical response. That you actually want that, because you're having an emotional communication, emotional conversation. That's what you want. You don't want the typical boring conversation. Because she says, what do you do? And you say, oh yeah, I'm an accountant. Oh yeah, I work at Wendy's, or whatever it is. It's just normal, and it's just the conversation is gonna be like every other conversation. When you give that weird ass response, you guarantee that conversation is gonna be interesting, because it's just like a joke, basically. It's funny. It's you're playing a role. And then when she calls you out, oh, you think you're so funny, or she says, oh, you're so stupid, or whatever, you keep it going. You don't back off. You're no, actually, I'm not kidding. Right now, actually, I have a dog, and I try my best to feed my dog, just say a whole bunch of stupid shit, oh, I only have 1 meal a day right now. But yeah, and then eventually you release it, but you just hold on to it for a lot longer. It creates tension, and it can be sexual tension, because she will be intrigued. She will find you interesting when you do this, and it'll slowly turn her on, because she'll see that you have a sense of humor, you're not super logical and boring. All right, and it's just fun. It's playful. All right, so this is a small way to create sexual tension. It's it adds up in the grand scheme. It's not super the most powerful sexual tension thing, but it's one of the things that you can do that a lot of guys they neglect. You know what I mean? Role play is role play is really really effective in combination with the other ones I'm gonna reveal. So next one is physical escalation. So this should be a given, because if you're trying to create sexual tension and there's no physicality at all, it's hard to create that. It's tough. It can be done, but it's you want to give a little sample of what's ahead, so you do this by touching, for example, when you go on a date, a lot of guys they'll be afraid to hug the girl or kiss her in the beginning of the date. And when I say kiss, I don't mean on the lips. I mean kiss on the cheek. As soon as you see the girl, you should be getting physical right away. You should be hugging her tight and kissing her on the cheek or whatever, just to show her that you're a physical guy, and so prepare her for the rest of the date where you're touching her and shit. If you started off and you're not touching her, and you just show her that you're scared, when you do touch her, it's probably gonna come off creepy. So you just want to handle this right away, and you want to escalate. So meaning you start off small, start with a little hug, kiss on the cheek, then maybe at some point you grab her hand, you hold her hand, then later on you might touch her, touch her lower back, or touch her lower back, put your arm around her, all these different things you can do. And then at some point there's gonna be a moment, if you once you really get good at this shit, like you'll be able to pick up on like the different moments when you need to do what you need to do. So for example, like when it comes to like kissing a girl, there's usually like a vibe or like an energy that comes up and you're like, okay, I gotta kiss her, right? And you like, you know this shit. And then like you either doubt yourself or you either can doubt yourself or you can do it. If you go for it, sometimes they may not be ready for it or whatever. If they're not ready for it, then it's no big deal. You're just like, cool, like, you know what I mean? Like, just continue the conversation or whatever, try again later. But you do want to escalate, like, physically escalate, like, you know, like I said, I gave you a couple tips on things you can do, but yeah, it's just about getting physical. Any opportunity you get, like playful touching, poking, stuff like that works too. Yeah. And then third one is push pull. So basically it's like you don't want to seem like you're too into her and you don't want to seem like you're not into her. You want to give like mixed signals. You want it to be like mysterious. You want her to feel like, okay, he kind of likes me, but like you want her to feel like, oh shit, like does he really like me? Like you want her to feel that you might actually like walk away. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you do like her. So you do this through push-pull. So you, for example, push-pull would be like, and by the way, like girls do this a lot too. You can learn a lot from them. Like attractive girls, they do this push-pull shit because they want to like test you and shit because they want to see like if you can handle like if you can like deal with them, like if you have like a personality and shit. And you could like deal with like playfulness and like teasing and all that shit. And can you like flirt with them and shit? Cause they want a guy that can like give them the feelings they want. Like a guy that can like communicate with them emotionally. And if you're just like a boring like dude that's like that doesn't get it, then she will go with a better option. All right. So push pull. One example would be like you say something and you say like a compliment, like, oh, you look nice in that dress, but I don't know what's up with those shoes or some shit like that. Or you could say, I guess she does some shit that you don't like. You could say, you know, you're cute, but man, you're like super shy though. Like it's kind of annoying or some shit, you know. Or you could turn that around. Like you could say, oh, you're like super shy, but it's kind of cute. Or another example would be like, if she's like touching you and shit, you could be like, yo, I'm not a piece of meat. Like, like basically like flipping the game around, cause they are usually looked at as a piece of meat. So like you say like, oh, I'm not a piece of meat. Like you're like flipping the game on her. So basically you're using the game that women use against them basically. Cause they do this shit. Like they will like push pull. They will like give you mixed signals and all that shit. So do it right back. As a matter of fact, do it before they do it. You know what I mean? Like for example, you're on a date with her and shit. You'd be like, you know what? Like you remind me of my little sister I never had. Like, so now you're like putting her in like this weird frame. Like, and she's like, yo, what is he doing? Like, cause usually guys are like all up on her and shit. And like, oh, you're so beautiful, da da da. And you're just like saying like crazy shit. Like, oh, you remind me of like a little sister I never had. Or like, you could be like, oh, you know, we could be like best friends or some shit, like friend zoning her and shit. And it's funny, like you gotta do it, like you gotta let her know like you're joking, but at the same time, like you still should make it like for her to wonder like, is this guy joking or not? It's like you have a smile on your face when you're saying this shit, when you're doing this shit, but like you're still doing it. So it's like you're kind of like confusing her a little bit, but like it's fun, and it creates sexual tension, right? Because it turns her on, because like you're not like afraid of her. Like you're not afraid to be expressive. You're not afraid to like say shit that might like push her away. Most guys would never say shit. Like they always say, like try to say the right thing, like try to be nice and shit. So yeah, these are some things you can do to create powerful sexual tension. So go ahead, try it out. If you're not using these things, go ahead, try it out, see how it works for you. All right, peace.